Good morning, foodies! It's Tiffany Foreman, your favorite Pampered Chef consultant, bringing you recipes, tips, fun, and more. And this morning I'm doing a breakfast ring that would be a great addition to your Easter breakfast tomorrow. So some of these things you may have at home right now, so that you could easily put this together tomorrow morning for your Easter celebration, or it's just a great brunch recipe to have any time for your family or for when you're having guests over. I know that's a little bit iffy right now because of what's going on, but I wanted to show you this really quick breakfast ring because it comes together beautifully. It's super easy, and I think you could do it at home too. So check out my display over here so we can get started. So first up, we're going to get some of our eggs ready. So I love that the manual food processor can scramble all my eggs for me, and I can get usually a dozen eggs in here, no problem. Today I only have 10 eggs. So I've got some of them in there real quick, but just wanted to show you the last couple. Just break a couple eggs, and I'm using my prep bowl here as my trash bowl. I love that I can do that, and then keep all my stuff that I'm gonna throw away later right there. Learned that one from watching Rachel Ray all those years ago in those 30-minute meals. So just gonna put on my manual food processor and then scramble. So this is how I scramble my eggs whenever I'm doing any kind of a breakfast casserole. Did you guys know you can do scrambled eggs in here? So if you wanted to, add your milk, your salt, your pepper, whatever you do to scramble eggs, you could do that. 3-cup capacity right there. But now that that's done, we'll just set that over to the side. Also in my breakfast casserole, I'm gonna do a few things. So I'm gonna add some pepper here. So here's just a red pepper. And one thing I learned from my mom a long time ago is that when you cut a red pepper and you only need to use part of it. So for this recipe, I'm only gonna use half. Instead of cutting it like most of the time people cut it, the lobes around the stem like that, I don't wanna do that. I'm gonna cut it here. And then I'm gonna leave my seed ball intact. So then when I put this back in my fridge, my moisture is gonna go back into my seed ball and not into the pepper itself. So that's a really quick tip for you to put in your kitchen, or use in your kitchen and when you put this back in your fridge. Now, if I was using this whole pepper, I would use my scoop loop and I would clean out all my seed ball and my ribs in here. The ribs add a bitter flavor, so that's how I use my scoop loop to do that. Especially if you're the type of person who likes stuffed peppers, this is great for that. All right, so I'm gonna set this aside because I'm not gonna use this part right now. What I am gonna use is this part of the pepper. So I am gonna use our scoop loop and just clean out the little bit of rib that's right there. All right, and get that out of there. And then I'm gonna use our quick slice because I wanna dice this pepper. So I'm gonna put the quick slice right there and put the pepper on there. I'm gonna gently rock this back and forth to kind of get it started. And then I'm gonna just push it straight down. So there I have nice even slices of my pepper. All right, and then to dice it, I'm just gonna turn it the opposite way. So just gently set that on there, the opposite direction. All right, and a little bit, if it slides, it's okay because we're pampered, not perfect. All right, and then I'm just gonna rock it back the other way. And look at that, now I have my diced pepper. So I'm just gonna take this apart like that. And so I have a few that maybe they slid the other way, so I can still do that with my knife here. But there is how I dice my red pepper. This is great for when I'm doing salads, or even if it's a garden salad. Oh yeah, like that one didn't get, that one kind of slid over to the side. All right, so then this is how I have my little peppers diced. And so I'm gonna add this to our concoction as well. And then my kids like jalapenos. So I'm gonna use just a jar of jalapenos. I'm gonna add that in there. And this is actually our little happy fork that comes with the waffle pan, and I love that it has a little smiley face on it. Can you guys see that? It's a happy fork. So I got a couple extra of these so that I can use them just for fun in the kitchen. All right, so this is our vegetable portion of what's gonna go in our breakfast sausage, egg, and cheese casserole ring. So now let's come over here, and I'm gonna introduce you to one of my new friends. This is our cast iron skillet. So I'm gonna turn this on and get this warmed up. Now I did turn it on a few minutes ago, so it is actually still a little warm there, but I wasn't quite ready to go live, so I turned it off. But it is warm, and you can see my burners coming back. So just remember that these are gonna get hot too, so you wanna make sure you're using protective little guys here. our micro grips. So the new ones are gray. I'm still using the old ones in my kitchen. So you just line that up. Now, for simplicity's sake, I'm using pre-cooked sausage just because this is what we have in the fridge. And I'm just gonna put this down in here. We tend to put them in the skillet anyway because we like how they get a little bit of a more charcoal, not like a seared flavor versus just putting them in the microwave. So these are already cooked, so I don't have to wait for them to cook all the way. I'm just trying to warm them up a little bit and get a nice little sear on them. I am going to use my mix and chop in a minute to start breaking these up. They're still a little cold, and my outside fridge stays really cold. So they're not quite frozen, but just give that a little bit, let that warm up. But I'm loving our new cast iron. I've never had cast iron before. If any of you that are watching, if you've had cast iron, will you share with me some recipes that you make in your cast iron so that I can try some things at my house? We've made a huge cinnamon roll in here. I did buy some stuff to make a cornbread in here later this week. And I know breakfast meats are definitely a good one, especially I'm sure lots of you have been camping and do that on the regular. All right, so now I can kind of start breaking these up. And my little mix and chop just goes right through them. And like I said, these are already cooked. I'm just getting them warm. We like to cook them on the stovetop versus popping them in the microwave. Yes, I know you can do that. But we like that little bit of a sear on the sausage. So breaking this up, if you were using sausage like that comes in like the roll, or you were using links and you took the skin off, you would just be breaking this up the same way and getting it kind of cooking there in your skillet. All right, so we're kind of breaking that up. I don't really have to wait for it to cook too much because it's already cooked. And we are going to get our other ingredients so that we can mix in. Now again, you can mix whatever ingredients you want into your breakfast. So if you prefer diced ham, that's a good one. I don't really like bacon because it makes it kind of soggy. Kind of like makes the bacon kind of wimpy like. So, all right, so there, I'm going to turn that on a low heat because here's what we're going to do is we're going to add some of our other stuff in. All right, so remember we had scrambled our eggs. I usually just put my finger on the little cutting piece so that it doesn't fall out when I do this. And then I'm going to grab my little skinny scraper. So I'm going to toss this in the sink. And then just make sure I get all those eggs right there. All right, so I'm just going to move the egg around. We want to get it pretty much all the way cooked. All right, meanwhile, I preheated my oven. I'm probably going to move it to 375 for what I'm getting ready to do. All right, so I'm mixing in my egg. Got my sausage in there. Got this on a low heat while this mixes in. Gonna mix in my veggies. Again, if your family doesn't want veggies, I guess you can leave those out, but we like a little spice, so that's why we have the jalapenos. And I love red pepper now that I've gotten older. And I realized that red pepper and green pepper taste different. I thought as a kid I didn't like any peppers because I didn't like green pepper. But that's false. I love colored peppers. All right, so that's almost, it's cooking up nicely. All right, so next, whenever you're going to cook eggs and then bake them, you have to add something to keep them, keep the moisture in. So my choice ingredient for that is sour cream. Now you could use yogurt, you could use cream cheese. I'm just gonna use some sour cream. This is something that I'm not gonna measure a whole lot. This is a 16-ounce container and I only need 8 ounces for what I'm doing. So I'm gonna kind of eyeball this. But when you add something like sour cream, cream cheese, yogurt, it helps to keep the moisture so your eggs don't dry out, because who wants to eat a dried out casserole for breakfast? All right, so again, we're mix that cream cheese in. Your eggs are still firming up a little bit and cooking. And then this would not be complete without cheese, right? So you got your breakfast meat, you got your sauce, you got your vegetables, your egg, whatever you're using to keep it moist after it goes in the oven. And there we go. All right, so let's do some cheese. So of course I've got my coarse cheese grater. And if you've watched any of my videos before, you know that we do not do block cheese in this house. I'm sorry, we do not do bag cheese in this house. We only do block cheese. So cheese is one of the 4 C's I never measure: chicken, chocolate, cheese, and calories. And especially for something like this, the more cheese, the better, right? All right, so let's grate a bunch of that in. And this is just Colby Jack. That's one of our favorites. And I'm gonna put that on my cutting mat right there. Let's stir this in, because then I'm gonna add some more to our ring as we assemble it. All right. So that's looking pretty firm as it's gonna get at this point, okay? So I'm gonna turn that off. I'm gonna slide that off the burner and just let that kind of sit for a minute. Now let's come over here and talk about how we assemble a Pampered Chef ring. Now the first Pampered Chef show I ever went to back in '03, the consultant made a ring and I was like, say what? What is that? That is some genius stuff right there. So some of you are probably way ahead of me and knew that Pampered Chef loved to wrap everything in crescent rolls back in the day. So this is my large round stone. Definitely a love stone in our house. Uses it for cookies, pizzas, really anything, biscuits, veggies, anything of the fridge or freezer variety that you need to heat up, leftovers. But I love that, I don't remember how many years ago it's been, but they added these handles so that it's easy to take in and out of the oven. All right, so there's our stone. And because mine is pretty well seasoned, I don't need to put anything on there. The first time you use it, if you're gonna use something like I'm getting ready to put crescent rolls on here, you may wanna season it or put some oil on it a little bit. I'm not worried about my crescent roll sticking today just because I can tell this is gonna be great. All right, so let's get our crescent rolls. And it looks like I bought reduced fat kind, so that was just grabbing whatever the store had, because I'm sure in the same situation right now that you just you're at the mercy of what's available. So when you open your crescent rolls, each little half roll has 4 triangles. All right, so take your triangle and put the fat in on the stone and let the corner kind of hang off, okay? Now my counter is sanitized. I have washed it off before you guys all came on camera. And so I'm okay with it hanging off the end there. All right, so then let me angle you guys down just a little bit so you can kind of see that. All right, so let's do our other one. Again, triangle out. So you're gonna make a sunshine pattern, a star, whatever helps you kind of remember how you assemble this, okay? So 1 pack of crescent rolls is going to give you 8 triangles. And so you notice I'm just patting them down a little bit. Grab my other set of crescent rolls. Open this baby up. And I always kind of break them on the end of the counter because I'm afraid they're gonna pop in my face. All right, so then let's take our other crescent rolls. Oh, that one got away from me a little bit. Put that one in there. If you've ever made a ring before, tell me below what filling you have put in your ring. So there's so many options out there. If you've never made a ring before, let me know and I'll send you my e-cookbook that has all the recipes in there. Oh, look. All right, let me just add that one over there on that side. That little corner came off somewhere. Oh well, okay. So flatten it all out so I have a nice flat surface. All right, so there's your sunshine pattern, whatever you would like to call it so that you don't forget. And then I'm gonna bring over our egg mixture so that I can get this assembled. So I'm gonna put a trivet down and I'm gonna grab our new oven mitts are this cool gray color. So I'm gonna grab these because this cast iron is warm. So I'm gonna set that right there. Now, I find it easiest to use our large scoop for making this. So this is the large scoop. There's small, medium, large. They are approximately 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, and then this one is 3 tablespoons. So before I start assembling it, we gotta have more cheese, right? So I'm just gonna kind of go around and add some cheese around to the bottom. Because remember, cheese, we don't measure, we just do a lot. All right, and I made a little bit of a mess, so I'll just pick it up and put it, you know, on its crescent roll here. We're pampered, not perfect, at the Foreman Funhouse. All right, so then take your scoop and you're just gonna scoop it just like that. And you're gonna place it all the way around. So because I'm using cast iron, it's okay that I use metal in my cast iron here. Not gonna hurt anything. So I apologize for that noise of the metal on metal there. But look at that. So now that we've added the egg, it is a little runny, but it is mostly cooked, okay? It's the sour cream that we mixed into that adds a little of that softness, I guess. So it's not as firm as when you make this with a chicken mixture. Okay, but it's still kind of staying in its form. So I have a little bit more, and I'm just gonna scoop it and spread it all around. Share that love of our egg sausage. Jalapenos, green peppers. You could add chilies. A can of chilies would be good. You could add a little salsa in here. Just be careful because salsa is liquidy. So just make sure that if you're using like a fresh salsa, that's probably better because it's a little bit more solid. All right. And there we go. So then we've scooped all of that out. You can see the steam is still coming over there from that cast iron. Set that down for a second. And let's add a little bit more cheese. You guessed it. All right, so cheese all the way around. All right. Okay, now this is how you put the ring together. This is always like, okay, they're like, how did you do that? And it's super easy. You're just gonna take your point and bring it to the center. Okay, that side is a little bit more full. So I'm just gonna kind of push it in. All right, so just bring your point over. Now notice it's exposed, okay? It's supposed to be exposed. They don't close all the way because remember, these are triangles. So that's why you're gonna see some of it kind of leaking out. And then as it cooks, it's gonna firm up. All right, so I'm just gonna push that side back in a little bit. All right, so bring our points over. All right, you can tell where I was tighter over here with my ring, my triangle, so. All right, so then that's how you assemble your ring. So some of the ring recipes tell you to put different things on top. So I know like the chicken and broccoli one, have you put slivered almonds on top. If I do a taco ring, I put crushed up tortilla chips on top. With our breakfast one, we can kind of just leave it just like this, but that is how you assemble a ring. So a lot of times I just kind of like, make sure it's all pretty. And then I'm gonna put this in the oven. We're gonna do 375. I'm gonna do about 20 minutes and then I'm gonna check it just to make sure. So really because everything is cooked, we're just making sure our crescent rolls are nice and toasty, okay? So I just wanna share this really quick recipe on how to assemble a ring. I'll go back through all our comments and see what kind of questions you guys have, see what kind of fillings you have done at your house, and then I'll take a final picture when it comes out and I'll let you guys see what it looks like when it's all done. So I appreciate you all for being here. I know my hands are a little sticky right now. So thank you so much for being part of my Foreman's Foodies recipe assemble thing here. And thank you so much for always being here for recipes, tips, fun, and more. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day.